The great chamber of the Galactic Council stretched wide like a vast ocean of marble and light. Representatives from 47 different species sat in their elevated seats. Their eyes watched the holographic display in the center of the room. The display showed a burning city on the distant planet called Prime. Smoke rose from broken buildings. Fire painted the sky orange and red. High Counselor of the species stood at his podium. His tall body moved with careful grace. His four eyes blinked one after another as he addressed the assembly. His voice carried the weight of absolute authority. "The situation on Prime has reached critical status," he announced. "The rebellion has spread beyond control. Our joint military forces have been deployed to restore order. Today, we witness the final operation in the Northern District." The holographic image shifted and zoomed closer. It showed a squad of soldiers moving through the rubble of a destroyed street. Among them stood one figure that looked different from the others. He was shorter than the tall beside him. He was broader than the thin officers behind him. His skin was soft brown. His eyes were dark and determined. His name was Sergeant Cole of Earth. Humanity had joined the Galactic Union only 15 standard cycles ago. They were still considered young and unproven. Many species looked at humans with curiosity. Some looked with doubt. A few looked with fear. Humans were unpredictable creatures. They did not follow logic the way other species did. They made decisions based on something they called feelings. The council watched as Sergeant Cole moved with his unit toward a damaged structure. Intelligence reports indicated that rebels were hiding inside. The orders were clear and simple. Eliminate all hostile elements. No exceptions. No mercy. Commander of the forces spoke through the communication channel. His clicking voice filled the chamber through the broadcast system. "Sergeant Cole, you will enter the structure first. Confirm hostile presence and proceed with elimination protocol." Cole nodded once. His face showed no emotion. He raised his plasma rifle and approached the broken doorway. The other soldiers stayed back and waited. This was standard procedure. Humans were often used for dangerous entry operations. They were expendable in the eyes of the command structure. They were new to the Union. They had not yet earned full respect. Cole stepped through the doorway. The inside of the building was dark and filled with dust. Broken furniture lay scattered across the floor. Light came through cracks in the damaged walls. Cole moved slowly and carefully. His training guided every step. His rifle swept left and right searching for targets. Then he stopped. In the corner of the room huddled three figures. They were civilians. A mother held two small children close to her body. Her large blue eyes were wide with terror. Her thin arms wrapped around her offspring like shields. The children trembled against her. They made soft crying sounds that needed no translation. Cole's rifle aimed directly at them. His finger rested on the trigger. One squeeze and it would be over. The mission would be complete. The orders would be followed. But Cole did not fire. He lowered his weapon slowly. He looked at the mother and her children. He saw fear that was universal across all species. He saw love that transcended biology and evolution. He saw innocent lives that had committed no crime except existing in the wrong place at the wrong time. Commander's voice crackled through his earpiece. "Sergeant Cole, report. Have you confirmed hostile presence?" Cole pressed his communication device. His voice was steady and calm. "Negative, Commander. I have 3 civilians, a mother and 2 children, combatants." There was a pause, then spoke again. His tone was cold and without feeling. "Classification irrelevant. All in the zone are designated hostile. Proceed with elimination." The council chamber went silent. Every representative leaned forward in their seat. This was unexpected. This was not how soldiers behaved. Orders were given. Orders were followed. That was the foundation of military discipline across the galaxy. Cole did not move. His rifle remained lowered. His eyes remained fixed on the frightened family before him. "Commander," he said slowly, "these are civilians, children. They pose no threat to anyone. His reply came fast and sharp. Your assessment is irrelevant, Sergeant. You have received direct orders from superior command. Execute the targets immediately. This is not a request. High Counselor gestured to his aide. Increase the visual quality. I want to see the human's face clearly. The holographic display adjusted. Now the council could see every detail of Cole's expression. They could see the sweat on his forehead. They could see the tightness in his jaw. They could see something burning in his eyes that none of them could understand. Cole took a deep breath. Then he did something that shocked every being in the council chamber. He reached up and removed his communication earpiece. He dropped it on the ground. He crushed it beneath his boot. He turned to face the doorway where his fellow soldiers waited. His voice was loud enough for all of them to hear. I will not execute innocent civilians. I will not murder children. These people are under my protection now. Ambassador of the Collective gasped, her tentacles curled in disbelief. Is he refusing a direct order during active combat operations? Nodded slowly, his 4 eyes narrowed with intense focus. It appears so. This is unprecedented. Commander appeared on the broadcast, his face twisted with rage. He stepped toward the building entrance. Sergeant Cole, you are in direct violation of military protocol. Stand down immediately or you will be executed alongside the rebels. Cole raised his rifle again, but this time he aimed it at the doorway. He aimed it at his own commanding officer. His voice did not shake. His hands did not tremble. Anyone who tries to harm these people will have to go through me first. The council erupted in confused murmurs. Species turned to species asking questions. How was this possible? Humans were supposed to be compliant. Humans were supposed to follow the command structure. Humans were supposed to value their own survival above all else. Raised his hand for silence. He watched the scene unfold with growing fascination. Clicked his mandibles in fury. You are one soldier against an entire squad. You cannot win this fight. Surrender now and your death will be quick. Cole smiled. It was a strange expression that the aliens did not fully understand. It was the smile of a person who had made peace with their decision. Maybe I can't win, he said, but I can make sure you remember what humans stand for. We don't murder innocent families. We don't follow orders that violate everything we believe in. I took an oath to protect people, all people, not just humans, not just allies, everyone who deserves protection. The mother behind him made a sound. It was soft and filled with emotion. She spoke in her native tongue. The translation system converted her words for the council to hear. Why, she asked, why would you die for us? We are not your kind. Cole did not turn around. He kept his weapon trained on the doorway, but his voice softened when he answered her. Because it's the right thing to do. Because your children deserve a chance to grow up. Because someone has to draw a line and say enough is enough. Commander raised his own weapon. This is your final warning, human. Cole stood firm. Then make your move, but know this. Every species watching through this broadcast will see what you do next. They will see if the Galactic Union murders children. They will see if this is what your justice looks like. Silence fell over the battlefield, and the council chamber alike. Suddenly understood. He understood why humans were different. He understood why they were feared and admired in equal measure. Humans did not calculate survival probability like other species. Humans did not weigh personal cost against potential benefit. Humans acted on principle. They acted on belief. They would sacrifice everything for ideas that existed only in their minds. Ideas like honor, ideas like compassion, ideas like justice. Hesitated. His weapon remained raised, but he did not fire. The broadcast was being watched across the galaxy. Billions of beings from countless worlds were witnessing this moment. If he executed the human and the civilians, it would become the defining image of Galactic Union authority. It would show that the Union killed children. It would prove every critic and rebel right. Minutes passed like hours. Then lowered his weapon. His voice was bitter and cold. "Pull back. We will report this sector as cleared. The human soldier will face tribunal for insubordination." Cole did not move until the other soldiers retreated from view. Only then did he turn to face the family he had protected. The mother was crying. Her children clung to her still, but there was something new in her eyes. There was hope. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for seeing us as people." Cole knelt down to meet the children's eyes. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small object. It was a coin from Earth, old and worn and meaningless to anyone but him. "Keep this," he said gently. "Remember that kindness exists everywhere, even in the darkest places." The council chamber remained silent long after the broadcast ended. High Counselor finally spoke. His voice was heavy with thought. The human soldier disobeyed direct orders. By our laws, he should be punished severely. Ambassador coiled her tentacles nervously, but what he did, it was extraordinary, finished. It was extraordinary. He chose certain death to protect strangers of another species. He stood alone against impossible odds because he believed it was right. The representative made a gesture of confusion. How do we classify such behavior? It defies all logical models of self-interest. Looked at the empty holographic display. He thought about what he had witnessed. He thought about the expression on the human's face, that strange mixture of fear and determination, that absolute refusal to compromise his principles. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "we have underestimated these humans. Perhaps there is something in them that we do not possess, something dangerous, something beautiful, something that could change everything we know about the galaxy." Cole faced his tribunal 3 days later. He was found guilty of insubordination. He was stripped of his rank. He was sentenced to exile from Galactic Union military service. But he was not executed. He was not imprisoned. The council could not bring itself to punish a man who had shown them what true courage looked like. When Cole left the tribunal building, he found crowds waiting for him. Humans stood beside, floated alongside. Species that had never agreed on anything stood together in that moment. They cheered for a single soldier who had reminded them all of something important. Some battles were not won with weapons. Some victories were not measured in territory gained or enemies destroyed. Sometimes the greatest triumph was simply standing firm and saying no. No to cruelty. No to injustice. No to orders that violated the sacred bond between all living beings. Cole walked into the crowd with his head held high. He had lost his career. He had lost his rank. But he had gained something far more valuable. He had gained the respect of a galaxy that would never forget what one human soldier did on Prime. And in the years that followed, when species spoke of humanity, they did not speak of their strange emotions or their unpredictable nature. They spoke of the man who refused to fire. They spoke of the soldier who chose death over dishonor. They spoke of the moment when the entire Galactic Council learned the true meaning of human courage. That was the day everything changed. That was the day the galaxy began to understand why humans would one day lead them all.